Welcome one and all to the ESU HUB NJCAA CE Week 7 out of 9 coverage between CCBC and NCC.
Yeah, that's for the NJCAAE. That's the National Junior College Athletic Association Esports. We'll be covering Community College of Beaver County versus Nassau Community College. For anybody who doesn't know what the abbreviations are for, I got you. And it's going to be a best of 3 match on week 7, which I'm super excited for, especially since we have an undefeated team. As far as I was hearing a little birdie in the ears talk about an undefeated 12-0 team. That's wild. So we'll have to see if they can continue on that streak going into this next week.
Yeah, that way. Well, both these teams coming out of Group 3 and playing for that playoff contention, Chad. You know, week 7, there's 2 more weeks to go. I guess 3 if you count this one, which I guess you could because we haven't played the game yet. And then Nassau, they're going to be sitting at a 5-2 because they got the bye week that's coming out a little bit later, Chad, but we count it early just so we already know, right? So they know they have a guaranteed win coming through off that week that they don't play. So they win this one, sitting at 6-2, feeling fairly comfortable. But then you got to remember, they're sitting at right now in the group at 5th out of the 9 teams that are in their group. So still plenty of work for them to get done here. A win here today going to make things a lot easier. But, you know, they already got that bye win in the tank. So never know. Up in the air still.
Yeah, you don't want to let it go down to the wire because if you go into like tiebreaker issues or you start like praying for another team to lose, those kind of situations are stressful. You don't want to be there. So get the wins out of the way right now. Make it happen. Make your dreams a reality. We're going into the best of 3, as we talked about. We have a lovely pick bands underway as well to show you all. And today, we have a lovely arrangement of maps. Catinator, Fractured and Split, Band Away, bringing us to Ascent for the first map of this best of 3, and Bind being the second one chosen by the Lions. After that, Haven and Icebox are Band Away, leading the decider to be a little bit of a breeze.
Yeah, the breeze map will be an interesting pick if we do get there, but we'll start off on 2 maps that everybody knows. They're clinics at this point. It almost feels like, you know, when you enroll your kid into youth sports and they've got to go through like all of the summer camps before they get a chance to play on their high school team. Right. That's Ascent and Bind to me in the series. And then if they can make it, if they prove that they're good enough, they get to show up on map 3, which is like Breeze, Icebox, something like that, to wrap up the series. So first, it's the clinics. It's what these teams know. It's what they've been trained on. It's the fundamentals. And then we'll see if they can use those fundamentals to go forward into map 3. But you've got to get there in the first place. You got to prove your worth. You got to be top of the class in the feeder basketball team.
I got another analogy for you, Catinator. It's a little more topical to considering this is collegiate matches here. Is maps like Ascent and Bind are like the gen ed courses for your associate's degree. Okay. And then you go into your major,
like 400 level.
A little more specifics, something a little more exciting, and that would be something like Breeze, which is a little more of a niche pick for a lot of teams.
Okay, I like that. I like that analogy. That, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I skipped all the gen eds. I did them all in high school, and that, you know, that's a little bit of a strat. And then you're allowed to walk straight in. I'm in 400 level courses as a sophomore, so you know, not to flex or anything, but that's just the way it's rolling. And these teams, we know they love to flex in collegiate. We'll see the Reynas come out for both sides here. I am interested to see if those flexes do transition into the double initiative, double controller later into the series. It's almost always the trend in collegiate is like, we'll play the Reyna, we'll come out Boolin, we feel comfortable. If it doesn't work, then we'll switch. But it's going to be the Olu, the Nobody Nico showdown, I feel like, early here.
I wouldn't know what having no degree by the age of 18 is because I had my associates by 17. But
dang,
anyway,
that hurts the soul.
Graduated high school by 15, no worries. We're looking at the agent selection as well on Ascent. We do have the Sova. At least my camera's
cropped, right?
Silver Star, not picking Sova would be a little bit interesting. Obviously not required, but man, with those paper-thin walls, you're getting hard information, and you can just have those pings from 2 different abilities and then just spray them down for the walls. Incredibly powerful. So, of course, that was picked up for the last pick.
Yeah, well, I mean, somebody who's got degrees early has gone through trade schools to get additional leverage into their career. Chad, you know, walk me through what you think this competition is going to look like, because, you know, you saw the competitions early, just like you saw your degree early, didn't use it, but what can you use information wise for these compositions going forward into the rest of the career, or I guess the match, you could say?
Yeah, double disher is set up with Sky as well. A lot of information, so I'm going to expect that to be proactively used round to round, of just getting that information that they can then translate to map control as well. That would be incredibly valuable, so I'm definitely looking to see if they do those like cross the T's, dot the I's, play the composition correctly. Meanwhile, on the side of CCBC, they don't have as much utility as far as information gathering, of course. They have a double duelist set up instead. So I'm going to look to them they're going to take a little bit more of a aggressive peaks here and there with the Jet Reno setup. A lot more ambition coming out of them, a little more risk, but that will amount to a reward because instead of taking the safer route to get information slower to then translate into map control, they'll just take it instantly.
Yeah, it's a matter of they're able to get the frags when they get in. And looking to get in early is going to be NCC. Probably made the way into the site. Door will get knifed down, so the retake going to be a little bit easier for CCBC, but Beaver County going to give all that space away. It's free. Post plant set up early.
Yeah, playing right over it towards default. A lot of utility put away. A lot of chip damage. Nobody dead just yet until Sense comes through with 2 as the rest of the members of CCBC come to clean house on a site. Narsh finishing things off. And a nice flawless round. Oh, lucky. All good.
You try to tank the molly, sometimes you get burned up. So Zephyr's going to grab 1 post-mortem. It will be the defuse to come through. The other 4 members to stay alive. All good. Just a little extra money for the Brimstone. Way of the road sometimes.
Way of the road indeed. But I like that execution from CCBC is very specific. It wasn't like they were wandering around, floundering. They were doing a lot of chip damage and just stalling and just trying to pepper down the members of MCC while the rest of the team was rotating from the B site. And once everyone was there, ready to explode, they did exactly that. They exploded onto the site. They took the fights instantly, and they just checked the corners. Everybody was checking different angles as well, so nobody's going to get crossfired and just caught off guard. I like that clean execution from CCBC.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the benefit of giving that space away on the site early. Allows for all that util for that retake, and we get an early presence off the Jet. Close Gelato. Narsh will back away and going to be in the mix immediately. Beanie King will take that one away. The classics rain down, and the space can be taken for NCC yet again. Really get to site, really get themselves a plant down. Omen going to be on the flank quickly. The Brim watching it from Wine, but under upgraded utility, so the question is if you can actually find the frag or not. You spur to find 1, trades to come back all across the board. Zephyr is going to win that fight with the Sheriff going down into Wine, so that's the numbers tied up, a 2-on-2 situation. The dart pucked by Josu, just all the way down to site. They'll pick up 1 of the Silver Star and finds the second as well through the Radiant Knight crate. CCBC, they're good for the retake yet again. They'll find it in that same spot, close gen.
A little bit of a bloody one, though. While they were really systematic in execution on the first round, that time around, they did lose a member before the site execute even happened, or kind of as it was happening. And when they went for their retake, they did it on so many different angles that they were kind of just taking one-off fights by themselves a little bit. And with those individual lone wolf strategies, some of them fell off the wayside, even though it was an eco round for NCC. So that damage to the economy is going to hurt in later rounds. Right now, it's going to be a bonus round. So if they can convert this, then deed's done. They're able to recover economy just fine. But if they lose this round, then we're going to start seeing that those the damage start coming through. Full stack on A site for NCC 3 rounds in a row.
Yeah, they're back yet again, and there will be that early presence from Narsh. This time around, it's just the Sheriff in the hands of the Jet. Here's the smokes. We'll back off this go around. So it's going to give that space. We'll keep their life up for that retake. Dark cover's gone down. Try to stall for a little bit of time. It has. But just for a moment, already the site will be Nassau. Yet again, that plant going to go down. Paranoid's caught nothing, and no one actually able to utilize it either. So that's 1 item of utility gone for Beaver County. Door gone now as well. Or close to. Not quite. DC looking for that push off the scaffold. Sense to pick up 1 early. The Marshall shoulder peek will get the job done for 1. This player is going to be tucked towards hell. Just picked up the first, the second as well. Massive from drop yet again is the Silva good for that 2K. Narcissus picked up 1 with the Sheriff, and that leaves Zephyr into the 1v5 scanned by Dart. That's easy for the players outside the dark cover. Olu will pick it up. CCBC good for the bonus as soon as this Molly does clear. Spike already halved.
So that's it. That recovery on the economy, a flawless bonus even. They had a couple members which like a Sheriff, just like handguns, pistols going on for, and Marshall's on top of that. They recovered rifles, still in areas for Josu, who doesn't need to pick up a rifle because of the role that Silva plays. LMG of the Ares is going to be just fine, and actually might even be a better option considering the circumstance of them being set towards a B site, which is exactly where NCC is going to go. So I'm anxious to see if Josu goes for that classic, just dart into garage for recon and get some information, spray right through there, that kind of thing. Sitting at 6-0 as well, Josu has been doing everything correctly, it seems like so far anyway. There it is. That's the dart, but NCC was ready for it. Trying to get control over mid right now is NCC, realizing, you know what? Just funnel ourselves just through A main. Isn't working out too well for us. Let's see if we can get some mid control. Nar shuts that down a bit. That's the smoke's gone as well as Zephyr falls. So that explosive brimstone capabilities with a stim
Oh, Chad.
Smokes.
Chad, the flank's here.
Yeah, there it
Senses
is.
showed up. They've kept them contained so long into lobby, and that creates that pincer move. Or Senses picked up 2. One player to stay towards tiles. The cat player's opportunity to save their teammates. BDK good for 1, but that is all she wrote. Super and Nars will come together for the last 2 frags. It's 4-0 early for Beaver County.
Yeah, and it's been a clinic for them so far. It's going to be another buy round for NCC. I like what they were doing that last round. It was a safe round, and they got a little caught off guard because CCBC was so aggressive with getting that flank from Sense especially after Anarsh got that first frag and realized kind of like, okay, this is what NCC is trying to do, becoming out of tiles, trying to get mid control. But I like that NCC was trying to do that. Now with better weaponry in hand, perhaps they could have a better exchange of firefight up against Narsh, trying to hold from Tree, who's actually going to be at Archway instead this time around. But if they can fight for that mid control, get that spread across, get the map control, and then find a better opening to a site, things could look a lot more up for them.
They took the recon early here, and they split the default up quite heavily as well. Esports found the first. Sense is walking straight into danger. Zephyr on the late lurk to grab with this go around. Trades as well will come back through the mid. Sense CC will head back to A. It's been that one site they've been able to consistently get to. Their third spike plant now got to go on to this generator side of things. Door looking at closed out early yet again by Narsh. Zephyr snuck through in the smoke. It's picked up Narsh into the 2-on-2, and CC, they've been here before. Can they hold it off this time? They stopped Josu, who's been good for that 2K every time at a scaffold. This time around, not going to happen. Greater the LMG or not. Olu out of door. Getting caught up with the first. The orbital strike comes through. Olu has to step out on the swing. Silverstar will pick it up from the back of Gen and NCC. They found their first round. The scoreline going to be 1-4.
Zephyr doing so much work for NCC that round. Recognize that Sense is going to be very ambitious with pushing out instantly from A main as soon as people make a note presence from tiles for MCC. So Zephyr just posts up, waited around a corner as soon as Sense went out towards Gelato, cut them down, got that rat kill essentially, but it was really like a smart play baiting them out at that point. And while NCC was still losing the gunfights to mid control, still Zephyr was able to get on the site alongside Silverstar, push through with that Sky Smoke as well to catch Narsh off guard as well. Just Zephyr already reading their opponent and making beautiful adjustments to get them in that winning position for the end of the round.
Once again, it's NCC and A main. Name a better duo. You couldn't if you tried.
I don't know exactly why they're going here. I guess the last 4 rounds
get.
gave them information for what CCBC's game plan is. They adapted and countered it perfectly last round, even though they still lost some gunfights, which overall they still did it really well. But then they go back to what they were doing before and continue giving away map control over to CCBC. I'm kind of surprised Sense didn't even commit to that, but still gave them a lot more information to say, yeah, they're probably going to go A main.
Yeah, great from the shadows as well. The back of Sidaloo and Sense from that backside angle will pick up the first 2. Sense with the TP away. A cheeky little omen play into that Sky Smoke. Get himself into safety. Olu to pick up yet another. Can't get out to safety of their own, though. The reload to come through. Zephyr to pick up that frag. Just traded it right back the other way as King Foxy trying their best from Generator right now. And a 1v3. Has to find the first. Josu just spamming the right click, jumping down to Generator. Will pick it up 5-1 for CCBC. Now, I love that from the shadows there to play through the back of the site. Sense recognizes they cut noise early. They were their A main. Let's see if they're rotating spawn. They'd be spawn right now. I know the timings. There's nobody spawn. Guys, they didn't cut noise. They're clearly here. Easy paranoia for me. They try to play out. They walk straight into a blind. They can't see nothing. Easy frags for us.
Yeah, paranoia, leers, everything like perfect for CCBC to counter NCC's plan, which again, I'm a little confused why they went for that. It didn't work out for them for the first 3 rounds of the match. Then they got some information for the 4th round. They tried something new, made the adaptation, countered for the 5th round, won it. And the 6th round, they went back to what didn't work for the first 3 rounds. And now they're kind of repeating from the 4th and 5th round at this point. So we'll see how this translates now. It's Zephyr again trying to make an opportunity for the team, but it gets shut down by Narsh, who goes and pushes the tempo and finds more. 3 kills for the round so far. It's going to be Hunter in the back line, which is a little bit of a bait, but since it's there to protect, and Narsh good for 4. A flawless execution from CCBC, who just keeps running away with this match.
He shot. You try to get a cat for Cypher. You try to shoulder peek. You walk straight into the operator. Narsh good on the trigger. Plus the Blade Storm just looks for so much more, and CC just not able to find that early space. Let's go around. They'll be back onto these guns. They're going to take it over to B. But it has been that dart stopping them early.
Yeah, just NCC needs to figure things out at this point. Figure out how they can adjust. It's going to be going back to B site. Somebody goes and challenges Narshkin with an operator in hand. It's so hard to shut them down. They're not being smoked off right now. There's no forward information to be gathered. And that's what I said earlier on from NCC. Use the double initiator, get a lot of that forward information, but I just haven't seen them use it well enough. They just keep walking almost blind into CCBC. Is Olu with 3. Looks to get the 4th. There it is. Onward for the ace, but Narsh takes it away. Just CCBC is taking away map number 1.
And that's why. That's why they haven't been B main. That's why they've gone A lobby only, Chad. They try to go B main. Who is it? It's Olu. It's the utility from Josu back of site B. They don't get any space. And the space that they get, Olu says, take it. Please, come ahead. Walk into my bullets. I dare you. And they do.
Good luck.
They walk right in.
Yeah, 7-1 right now. CCBC, these 7 rounds that they won as well haven't even looked close. The one round that NCC won with Zephyr just popping off was just counter strats, basically, that took a while to develop. Narsh is not getting shut down at all right now, Cat.
And the double op setup as well to come through the chamber. Usurper's picked up one. He's seen the bow and arrow as well. He'll tank the recon bolt. Looking to finish this one. He'll get shock bolted off. Finally ascends to Josu. Will combine for the last 2 frags. Pinching down into A main. It's 8-1. They say, okay, B main. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Let's go back A. Yeah, good luck. Good try. No, sir.
This is the map picked by CCBC, and man, can we see why. These players are good with ops in hands. They have great setups. They have great reads on the opposition. They are willing and happy to take map control aggressively and quickly when they see an opportunity presented to themselves. And it wasn't until Zephyr countered since that they actually kind of stopped taking map control super aggressively. They're like, okay, they are going to counter us from trying to do that. So they have slowed down, but they still have the good reads, good positions.
Standing ahead.
Olu to sneak into mid, looking to put pressure really in different directions. Narsh will put it in the same place.
No way punished.
Will take his teammate spot up lobby. Free for 1, no repeat. It's an easy dash away. So that's the first frag out. No trade. Late trade if you want. Going down to A main. Nico's found Olu. Just unlucky timing. I guess those players will play at a tile. So on CC, they've waited. They've been patient for the peaks. They lose 1 life, but they take 2 back. So definitely happy to have these trades early.
Launching smoke.
Look to push 2 into B lobby. The spike goes up to Cat though, so they got a 2-2 split going on right now in their execute.
Yeah, but again, it's a good read from CCBC. All 3 of the remaining members are here on site, but Zephyr yet again creating opportunity for the team, shutting them down and keeping the numbers advantage for the team as the rest of NCC rotates through.
So we start a tech generator. Usurper out with that op. I believe both players on ops here. This is a very hard retake for CCBC if they're not into the rifle. Maybe we have not. They're both on ops. First shot from Nar's not going to be found, so King Foxy has that one. And that's left Usurper into a 1v4. We'll have the headhunter to work with, but only 2 bullets. Recon bolt will give information. Usurper trying to tuck it. This whole thing wallbangable is able to back away just far enough to avoid damage from Silver Star on the site, but there's just no time on this one. If you're Usurper, if anything, just don't let this team have the op. They've already got 1.
Yeah. I mean, operators aren't attack rating that amazing, which is why NCC didn't even grab 1 up. Zephyr is shutting down Usurper's attempts to save the operator anyway, which was a little bit of an aggressive, reckless, very reckless would be a better word choice, attempt to save the operator going through mid like that instead of going back through spawn towards B site. But their economy is just fine. They've won so many rounds this half that for the next 2 rounds, they'll be able to buy whatever weaponry they want. So no worries there. Nothing picked up from NCC either. A Bulldog in the hands for Binding King, which is interesting to me considering somebody could buy a rifle for them.
Bulldog difference. You'll see.
Okay.
Doubters in the chat right now. Just wait and see. Sense out early, good for 1. Well, next time. It's unlucky, really. Just unfortunate. Nothing to do with the gun choice. 100%. Let's look at the first leader will come through. So no repeat from him. Paranoia going to get burned in and CC. Well, their time's been burned as well. Still stuck here. Getting stalled right now. And Sen's going to send his own dark cover. Begging him to push forward. And he'll push forward himself. Out the dark cover. We'll pick up Nico. 2 early frags from who other than the controller.
Trying to get some more information.
So much info.
Gelato. There it is. Gelato. Yep. Okay. They're still here. So they have Narsh holding the angle for up.
And Josu's back.
Josu getting aggressive.
He's rotated all the way around the map.
Olu lurking. They're getting completely cornered here. They have a 1-way out from A main, but they don't know this.
Olu will come around through spawn. He's seen the feet of Silver Star. He's given information to Narsh. Joan will come through really to allow them a bit of a peek, but Olu's around now. Narsh will pick up the other as well, and And Chad, that's what Beavers do best. They build dams. They don't allow anybody to get in. They try to play their way forward into the sites. They just get caught up. There's too many logs in the way. There's too much utility. There's too much presence. CC can't go anywhere. It just allows for easy pinches on the lurk.
Yep, they're just stopping the flow of NCC, that's for sure. That utility from NCC not being used to get information of where CCBC is located well enough to know where to go and use that information. Meanwhile, CCBC using the bodies with the double duo sub, as well as Omen, which is a little scrappy himself. Chamber as well. These are 4 agents that are really good at just being aggressive and trying to find opportunity to quickly get map control. And CCBC is not only doing that, but also finding a lot of success in CC. Be the one doing that as
actually CCB is getting griefed. It's actually the Beavers getting damned themselves. Damned to win the round right now. Damned to win the map. As Josie will pick up another. And Nassau, that's right. Nassau Community College are popping off. Up 8 rounds now, 10-2.
Switching sides.
All right, NCC is the one dominant. Dude, I was thinking, this is wild to me, that NCC is the one that's undefeated, and they're getting destroyed right now. It makes a little bit more sense on the stat line, at least, but can't count CCBC out of it. Which is crazy to me, because like it is confirmed that this is CCBC's map pick.
Yep.
And they're getting 210 for the first half. So definitely a rough go so far from CCBC.
New half, new hopes. Let's see if this can bring this on the defense. Narson early. Dash into that cloud burst, and we'll throw the door down. Joseph will pick up one with the shock roll. Nico gonna fall. One more to the back of sight. King Foxy pick up the first with the nano swarm, but no more to be had as he's for Joseph apply for 2 more frags.
Whoa!
Narsh will get involved, make that a 3, and now 4 to come through from all these players. That's 5 kills to take out the round. 11-2. Snarsh popping off on the entry. That's a pistol you definitely need if you're the Beavers.
The absolute confidence that Narsh just walking around, flicking everything, leaving themselves exposed to multiple angles, but just head on a swivel, checking all the angles at the same time. Like, I got this. Who wants some? I'll take any fight you bring my way. And as soon as somebody challenged, that was an instant flick to the head. What a commanding first round of the second half after a commanding first half entirely of a 10-2 scoreline. They won the bonus as well. They're going on into Eco right now.
Out of charges.
Winning the bonus in the first half. This is going to be a rough go for CCBC even on the following round. Narsh insight again. Instantly. 2K immediately. 10 seconds after the round started. What? 20-second round total.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you must just carry that one out. Just double the time and same point to be made.
Oh, my word. This team is so good. Like, every member is just bursting with confidence while also working synergistically with each other. That is such a scary team to go up against. 12-2 match point for map number 1 of the series.
Now it's time to ask yourself, if you're the Beavers, do you believe? Are you the believers, if you will?
Believers?
They looked at look to come out early. Narsil Cloud versus the way forward, running and going. Until you can finish the kill. Just move on to CT, and Silver Star will finish him. Olu to take 2. Gonna go ahead, devour, heal up. We'll grab a Vandal for his trouble, using the smiley face crosshair because he's feeling good right now. 3K to come forward. Beanie King says, guys, I just got to the party and everybody left. Everybody left. He sees the down utility, the down body. He says, man, all the party favors are here, but no, there's no friends to be had. He's got to grab an Uber. He's got to go around to Scaffold to try to come back to the new location after party number 2.
That game plan is so smart too, because
for one,
Beanie King, that's one.
Good flash
that's a
early
good
as well.
flash.
Should have saw Olu here. Definitely saw the shoulders. There's the peak, but Olu, it don't matter. The smiley face crosshair smiles on. A 4K to be had. 13-2 is your score from map number 1. NCC feeling very good, you could say.
Yeah. A speed run of the first map of this series, and speed run is what they just did towards the A site after winning out on B site so heavily. they just, as a 4-player unit, say, we're just not going to stop. Push all the way through their spawn, go to A site. If we find this guy, we'll roll through them 4 versus 1. But if we don't find them, that means they're probably doing a slower lurk to B site, which means they have to cover the entire map to get to A site, which makes it even harder for them to make a 1v4 situation happen because the clock will be running so much faster in their mind. So what a dominant first map there, Kat. That was insane. And it's the Lions up 1-0 in the best of 3 series. Incredibly quick.
Yeah, I've always said Lions will roar and then start to devour. So the clock, it ran decently quick in that match, and hopefully this break clock will be quick as well. We'll be right back on the other side of this break with map number 2. Nassau, please, just cool it a bit.
It's time for map number 2 of the BO3 between NCC versus CCBC for the NJCAAE. I'm joined by Catnator, and what an incredibly fast map 1 that was by the Sal's Lions. That was super dominant, 13-2. The 2 rounds they lost, they were even going for it, and it came down to the wire for those rounds as well. Incredibly dominant across the board. There's no other way to say it. So we'll just move on to the second map, which is going to be on Bind, and that's NCC's map pick as well. Bind, though, is naturally a lot slower of a map than Ascent, just by the way the map works. So I'd imagine they'll be taking their time a little bit more going to game number 2.
We'll see. We got to see them very briefly on the attacking side of things, and it was not slow. I will say it was not very slow, Chad. And we know, while Bind, yes, very slow, a lot of choke points, a lot of work to be done to clear utility effectively. If you waterfall it, you can play the map a little bit faster. So that will be the question of they start on the attack or not. So we'll have to wait and see. But Beaver County, what honestly, are the takeaways we can get for them, Chad? What can we give them going into map 2?
I think for Bind, Beaver County should be fielding agents like Astra, Viper, things like that. So like those have fallen out of the meta in general, but I think they're still viable on Bind.
Especially for heavy
and they would be ideal for slowing down or Sage. Literal slow orbs could be used to slow down the NCC, the solid CC. So if they can do that, that'd be dope. But we might be seeing a freaking neon.
This is not
from
real.
A team that already was running it down super fast on map number 1 without one.
No.
I don't know if a Super's going to go for this. Do they?
No.
That would be the most hubris pick of all time.
Not the Phoenix.
If
not
they
the
go
Phoenix.
No, they're trolling. They're trolling. There's no way.
Listen, I mean, you could triple duelist and just run it down, playing for the attack, man.
Narsh and Usurper both were oppers last game, so one of them's going to go chamber, I'm sure. But where's the other one go?
Okay, there we go. Much more conventional. So we'll get pretty much a very even compositional showing here from both these teams. That makes things very interesting.
Okay,
there's
I was going to say, nobody had an initiator
for
even
Beaver
hovered.
County. Which I guess is fine if you're playing harder for the defense. It's not terrible to have an extra piece of defensive utility, but the double duelist for them going into what needs to be a strong defensive showing for them is peculiar.
Honestly, CCBC had 2 initiators and didn't use that information gathering resources super effectively in the first game. Honestly, a lot of times they didn't even have time to properly use that utility with how fast NCC was going. So maybe their game plan is, you know what? We don't have time to use this utility properly, so we'll just use agents that don't need it. We'll just duel harder, slow them down, that kind of stuff. Just trademarks, that kind of stuff, just to try to slow and fight them.
Yeah, that actually could be very true. And then you get the raids, you get the paint shells. I mean, for a fact, you throw a nade at people, you're getting some value there. And I mean, technically, you can call the Roomba a bit of initiation utility because it's going to give you information on players around corners and things of that nature. So they've got that working with them. Starting on the defensive side of things here, we get to take a much larger look at the defensive side. We know for a guaranteed fact we'll get to see 12 rounds here as opposed to the 3 we got out of last map. 3. So I'm interested because we definitely saw Nassau. They felt comfortable. They felt very comfortable on the attacking side, just making things happen. But you got to think that's the confidence of the entire map, the entire half before. So do they have that confidence now going back into this one? And does that confidence get stifled quickly? Because the CCBC can take these first couple of rounds, especially this first pistol, and then start to get a couple rounds under their belt. That can kill that confidence and make sure that Nassau's got to think just a little bit harder.
And what I noticed from NCC as well, on the map of Bind, if there's a chamber on the composition up against you, the trademarks are really good at stalling out people from attacking sites, or on the offensive side of things, getting the anti-flank options for your team. But agents picked up by NCC, Omen, Jet, yet again, which are fantastic for getting past trademarks. So if they continue being aggressive with trying to take map control and work those flanks really rapidly before CCBC can be alerted of it, they can even get around the trademarks in a way that they would have no idea that's even coming.
That's true. Very, very true. And that does cause for some bit of alarm. I do wonder if CCB is ready for that, because I mean, we got to see how many lurks came through already from the defensive side of NCC and how easy they were able to get presence. They were able to get pinched, especially over towards A main. CCBC continually stacking players up in that department. It led for even Omen flanks to come through. The controller taking the step to walk up Cat and then get behind A main for opportunities. So it definitely is a question of CCBC is ready for that, because now you get those lurks coming through on the attack. You get players snuck through A to come help for your B execute. That does change things.
Yeah, and on Ascent as well, I'll talk about operator agents a little bit more. On Ascent, using an operator controlled mid especially is so incredibly powerful. On Bind, it's still a map that operators can be very useful on, considering the fact that it's long alleyways. Basically, it's C long, like B long area, the showers control from Heaven, A short as well. Like literally, you can sit Heaven and cover 2 exits depending on where your team's bolstering up themselves. Basically, the only thing operator doesn't really hard cover is hookah, but even then you can find certain angles actually work with it. And the operators were very proficient for multiple members of NCC on Ascent, and CCBC didn't seem to really know how to shut that down, really just use smokes to push them off, use other utility to push them off. So if that is the case again, then when NCC is on defense, that might be a thing that just completely negates anything that CCBC tries to throw at them. On offense, probably won't be a big deal, but then it goes that conversation of what can CCBC do to slow them down and take those fights.
Right. I think that really is the storyline early for this first half, is if you can slow this team down, which they're a quick team. It's one thing to slow down your car when you're going 25 in a school zone. You see a squirrel run by. That's easy hitting the brakes. On the highway, though, going 70, there's a little bit of rain out. You're not stopping the car. You try to stop the car, the thing's spinning, man. So there definitely is some slight bit of concern there. I think they do have a decent composition for it, though. I mean, we saw them bring out the Sage. We saw them bring out the literal slow orbs. So they get that advantage. They get the wall to work with as well. So where do you put that wall? And then does Nassau go back to a standard default, or do they keep 5-man burst? Because they 5-man burst, the wall, the slows, they're going to work. They're 100% going to work for you. But if instead they play the slow default, they're able to bait you into expecting those quick burst executes. You use the wall that slows early, you don't have anything going to the actual execute. So we'll see if CCBC is able to adapt. And if you're a Beaver County homie, if you're a Titans fan in the chat right now, you need to give some energy to the boys as they try to continue to play their way into playoff contention. It's in 6th in the group right now.
And we did have a little bit of a issue getting into the map, and also an agent selection issue. Narsh apparently was intended to go on to Chamber and not on Sage, which is not surprising to me considering how good they were with an op in hand last map. Why not play an agent that literally has an op like built into the kit?
Right.
So yeah, we'll be seeing that, holding on A's site by themselves while the other 4 are steamrolling it through short.
Joseph pick up 2, trades all across the board, and Silver Star going to find 1 on TP. Sense will catch both as they try to play their way into that fountain side of things. Dark Cover will come out, get snuck by Beanie King, who steps down in the orb grab timer, so no one's here has heard him fall. We get damage done. Both players will TP and head over towards B. One player will actually. The Rays will stay. Get a cheeky play on the Beanie King, and as he walks into mid-market.
Wow.
Oh no, red like a book. Olu will catch it, a clean headshot, and NCC will take the pistol.
What's crazy about all this as well, we saw in the first map, is NCC so confidently moves so aggressively fast that it's like CCBC doesn't even have time to think about what's even happening half the time. Like, Sense just ran around like a madman over at the orb, to where Beanie King was like, oh, I gotta take those shots, but then they're like, oh, okay, well, that's where Beanie King is. Cool. We didn't get killed because we moved so fast they weren't able to line up properly and get a response in time. We're gonna take the teleport instantly. I have a spike. I'm gonna go plant it. If they rotate, then cool. You know, we'll have the rotation for arrays. If they try to go for a cutover, our arrays has a cutoff.
They cut off to any sort of shower control of the defenses. Josie Nars will cut off Foxy as well. Let's take the storm away into the A site. Stack it all you want. We're in regardless. This is for pick up one. Running with the judge. Sense that Josie will get involved. And then CC up to Flawlessly as well to take all these guns into the bonus. They're looking to bring that same pacing into map number 2.
So that pacing definitely working so far. Oh man, 3-0 for Sense, the Bulldog in hand. Cat, I know you did the classic cat cursing the dog last map. What are your thoughts this time around?
I think the Bulldog an excellent weapon, great gun, really has a lot of potential, especially if you can hit the headshots. So it's just a question of if you're able to get that triple burst going on, able to get the spacing. Actually, Fortnite auto shotgun play right there. Who's going to pick up one? Gets caught by the TP, though. The Stimmy to come out for the Brimmy. And Zephyr's been able to grab one for his trouble, but the rest of the team has died in the meantime. Nade out early will pop just in front of him. The Chamber gets to keep his life. Going to be walking into the double swing and is not going to find either. Olu, a 3K bonus converted. 3 rifles picked up. 3-0 scoreline.
This is tough for CCBC, man. Like, NCC is going so aggressively fast that they were on, by the time Zephyr even showed up to make a presence known, the rest of the NCC was like, okay, bet, we're on-site planting then. And by the time Zephyr could get past the paint shells, those 2 members of NCC, Olu and Josu, were in a hookah ready for him to swing around the wall. Like, you don't see people move that fast. Like, that's not a normal tempo that you go up against. And the fact that NCC is doing that tempo and winning all the gunfights, that just puts your brain through a blender. It just destroys your mental. It can just ruin all of your team synergy as well. How do you coordinatedly go against this?
One
Sense
enemy
will
remaining.
pick up one. Josu with 3K now. Beanie King into the trademark. Yo, what's good? You're flanking. We know. They'll be looking all a short now. Beanie King. Here's the footsteps. Those are going to peek. Oh, Narsh, don't do it like this. Running it down. No wonder they wanted to get off the Sage because they're not trying to play slow. 4-0 scoreline.
Yeah, if anything, you throw a slower by as a Sage on offense with how NCC plays, then it just is detrimental for your own team. Because you're going to end up running into it. You're just pushing W the whole time. Where do you throw the slow orbs that actually works for you? Orbital Strike is available for Silver Star. At the very least, as soon as NCC makes presence known, you can at least use that to try to slow them down. But, man, that's rough. The way NCC's playing through as well, I wouldn't even be shocked if they just pushed past an Incendiary. That Silver Star would drop for them. Wall being shot down. No slow orbit down just yet either. Oh, gotta drop the slow orb. I don't know if he had one, but man, needed there.
Trying to play close contact. You do hate to see that. Josie to come out. Zephyr finds nothing out the TP. Is for to grab another. Goodness. Actually, this is a great time to mention the Collegiate Cup coming up. Esports U actually sponsoring that. If you guys want to go ahead and get signed up, Usuper, I'm gonna DM you a link. Actively playing Fortnite. And I mean, might as well just jump into it. Josie will pick up another Silver Star Stim Beacon out, and unfortunately doesn't give him any healing. So 4 HP, 1 shot is all it takes for Nar's headshot anyway. So it would have been instant kill. 5-0 for Nassau. Got a dual esport athlete in their mix. Just got another judge.
Honestly, Ben, I want to see CCBC just do it too. Like, I want to see them as 5 just push forward and take the fights. Like, you need to force NCC to respect you somehow, right? Like, you can't let them just keep running on sites. 5v2, 5v3 on the entry. They're going to win out this trades no matter what. We've seen CCBC get some kills, but, like, still the numbers are in favor of NCC because they have more firepower on the death ball. So if you have your members instead just push forward instead of pushing back, as a 5-player death ball themselves, push ahead. If you take the fight instantly, sick.
Good morning.
If not, they're on the other side. All good. Just keep rotating through and try to take the death while happen.
Oh, good play for Zephyr to come out early.
That was
Tucks
a
the smoke
play.
for so very
Oh!
long. But a totem being camped by Sense. Puppy guarding the TP. Rendezvous straight into danger. Oh, these Nico in the 1v4 sitting on the B side and gonna save this Vandal. New Spaceman Vandal looks pretty clean. I would say it's in the wrong team's hands because Nassau's been playing out this world.
Showstopper and Bladestorm is available for NCC as well.
Time to span through the doors.
Yeah, I imagine.
Didn't hear it?
They know that you think, what?
From shower, didn't hear?
Okay,
interesting.
Angle. Surely they're going to still be in teleporter.
No, you didn't hear the door open though. Like kind of a little goofy play. There's plenty of time to jump through this TP. Not gonna lie.
Giving them a little bit of a.
Oh,
here we go. Here we go.
Uh-oh, Nico. Good for one. The second will not come through. Olu's traded it out. The gun, well, tries. You cannot get it saved. It's a 6-0 scoreline for Nassau Community College.
Yeah, that's rough. Keep improve the economy and keep the gun yourself. Judge in the hands of Beanie King. I actually like that. Judge is a classic answer to aggressive players. They're swinging around corners, not giving a crap about utility or scouting things out them first. There's a Judge around the corner, shotgun them down. Getting an easy 1 or 2 kills every round. So I like that. It's going to be in the hands of Beanie King. Hopefully, he can provide fruition from that. Silver Star gets spammed through the smoke. VAC, hello?
It's an arch difference.
What?
They side going to be open. NCC going to prove that fact. Oh, Nico's Narsh out the TP, but I mean, Narsh can find frags through the smoke, cannot find them with his eyes open though. So trade does come back through for the Reina Empress out as well. Gonna have that extra health, that extra speed on the shots. Always picked up Zephyr trying to go towards heaven. One more to beat the CT. It's that raise. And Sense is gonna catch that one as well. Nico, huge opportunities on the flank, but they've been shut down by Josu, Jet, and we'll find both as well as Beanie King tries to sneak out of A short. Gets caught by Josu as he takes his way out of shower. 7-0, your scoreline for Nassau.
Resurrection is available for Beanie King. I don't know if they're going to be able to find their allies to be able to use that in time with how fast NCC is taking the map control at this point. Really, NCC is coming in here making a statement, and the statement is, we need to go study. We have a test tomorrow.
Statement is, she says she coming over, and it's
She's
a
hitting
school
on my
night.
phone right now.
School night. She says she coming. Like, can we guys wrap this up? Can we just run it down? Hookah. That they're gonna do. Knife in hand. No one clears left side. Wait. Beanie King to pick up one, but he's had a shorty in the hand. No ability to trade. He's supposed to pick it up with the Judge. The upgraded shorty will win the day there in that fight. So we're gonna work his way down. Or these shock bolts will come through. Recon has information back at sight. Narc to pick one up. Zephyr has a trade back the other way. Just for, oh my goodness, it's a long range gun. She's going to take yet another from the back of the site. Made some space yet again. Sense more than ratting right now. Owling towards the top of the box. King seeks his way out. 11 HP though. Silver Star's traded one back. Stim Beacon out as well to help this Spectre shoot just that much faster. King's going to be caught by the paranoia. Sense has the frag. Near sight does come through, and Silver Star in that 1v2 now at the CT. Sky Smoke to allow him to play through. Sense almost had that through. Said Sky Smoke. 1 HP!
Oh.
Almost a vac scenario. Luckily, they get to stay alive for a moment. Silver Star to sneak out into Olu, who just needs one shot. Hits in the head just to be sure. 8-0 the scoreline.
Make things even rougher for Silver Star is getting spammed through the smoke multiple rounds now. One time getting killed from it. That time bringing you brought down to 1 HP. The dream just wasn't strong enough to make it out for that round. 8-0 for NCC. 4 left in this half. They have the ultimates available for Josu and Narsh, but will they even use the Bladestorm for Josu when they have a rifle in hand? Narsh, I guess, can use it up. The economy doesn't require it, but you might as well, I suppose.
You want to play? Let's play.
So much pressure coming through shower early. Josu and Sense have taken everything away. The A main presence, the fights they're looked for CCBC, and well, not seen for very long. All the duels going to go their way. Beanie King to sneak their way into CT. Now to catch Josu, who's good for yet another 2K to come forward for the Jet now. Nico and a 1v5 spray to come through. It's a 3K for Josu. 9-0 the scoreline. A flawless round for NCC.
I don't even think the Twitter Force actually even found a target Like, I think everybody was dead before Narsh could even get to the site or get to an angle to use that ultimate, so that's gone, but plenty of economy. Really pushing through with 3 rounds left in the half. The Resurrection is still available for Beanie. Getting close to another orbital strike for Silver Star. The player with the most kills on the team trying to just claw their way through this half to get a round or 2 on the board so they can have some breathing room going to the second. We'll see if they can manage to do that. And perhaps when it goes into attack, they can dictate the tempo themselves a little bit better. They can have a fighting chance more so than in this half.
4-man push to the B site, defaulting spike and spawn. Like anyone's going to come back and get it later in the round. Says to find the first. Every decide right now. Okay, they'll TP the Jet over, who's going to be the fake to A, but they pushed B so fast there was no need for the fake. They'll walk it over. Narsh has picked up another.
Yeah, you don't want to grab the heel like that going into the smoke, because it literally is a line pointing to where you are in the smoke. Roll unfortunate. Josu watching the flank even.
Oh, why did you say that?
You're alive?
Dad?
Oh!
Doesn't matter. Just picked it up anyway. Can't get cursed. Too strong for casting curses. That's when you know it's over. Olu's picked up another. Silver Star in the 1v4. Gonna find one. The Stim Beacon doing wonders right now with the Spectre. Orbital's trying to come through. And you're dying with me, baby. Pick up one and
Oh,
no! Is the scoreline. The orbital strike. It's died in vain.
I would have loved if Silver Star read the situation saying, okay, they're just going W key me really hard. I'm going to literally make myself the center point of the orbital strike, so when they W key me, there's nowhere from them to go because they'll be the center mass of it. That would have been sick. Just going down, fighting at that point. But
there's some Kingsman 3 where he stands on the mine and he can't move.
Which movie?
Kingsman 3. You ever seen Zephyr 2?
Yeah.
Where he goes down shower with the head under, he takes both frags. Yep.
Zephyr 2, good for 2.
Usurper, good for another with the judge. His 9th judge kill of the game. King Toxie will fall, trying to double satchel out of shower. Narsh will use the trademark beautifully. We'll find the frag. Olu taking Silver Star with the paint shells. Narsh will get involved for another. Nico peeks up towards A shore, and that early advantage for CCBC gone just like that. Usurper to take a second frag as well. Judge 11-0 is your scoreline. Friend CC.
Last round.
They're trying to create some form of map control for themselves to wrap around, try to get a surprise factor over towards A shore or something, but it was Usurper waiting for them in the smoke with a judge in hand. Really hard to beat that. Tour de Force available for Zephyr, though. That could be an option to slow down NCC by just holding an angle and gunning them down when they enter. Just gotta be ready for the hard swing as fast as they possibly can. Olu blast packing, Josu dashing, since teleporting, things like that could be the case. But they're going to peek long or short first. That's 1. Zephyr 2, good for 2.
This is the sequel. Zephyr 2, forget that. We're on to Zephyr 3, baby.
Are we?
Zephyr looking for the repeak. Looking for yet another blockbuster hit. I heard last go around about $2 billion at the box office. And well, sometimes, you know, the sequel's never really as good as the original, unfortunately.
Yeah, apparently not. The trilogy fell a little short in the end.
I really feel like the writer lost direction.
They
Saying
still
the peak just
got
too long or
themselves
something
player
like that.
advantage at least, so
It's very true.
they're still in the black.
That's a very high showstopper. Oh, to come out. It's found nothing on, but found 2 frags. And that's a 3K and 4 on the round for the Rays to just absolutely obliterate any hope of the defense on the entry. Silver Star come out of the TP. That's been more than heard. Nassau, and they'll play accordingly. 3 smokes to work with, a Molly and a Stim Beacon. The full utilo for Silver Star in the 1v2. You'll see it start to get utilized now. We'll see where those smokes end up placing themselves. One will go early cubby. Perfect place for it as well. The tracker's red, the tracer's red rather, and Olu will fall through the sky smoke to sneak out as the chamber caught as well. The Stim Beacon will come through for Silver Star. He's caught both frags, will sit on the defuse, and the Brim is found. Beaver County their first round.
If you want an idea of how this match has gone so far, just look at a replay of what Olu just did to enter the site. Getting the 3K the way they just did it. But what could be the story of the rest of the series, what would be a very exciting turn of events, is what Silver Star just did to win back the site, finding the kills, and winning the first round for CCBC on map number 2. They at least have that 1. And that one could be all they needed to stay afloat in the second half. But man, those tides coming in strong. Its waves crashing heavily. It might be insurmountable, but at least their heads over water still.
Bobbing, but still finding breaths, most certainly. Since CC are going to look to snatch the breath away down Fountain. Fortunately for CCBC, they're looking to send everybody hookah. So they'll walk right past each other. A little yin and yang early,
balls.
if you will. Oh no, they think it's clear. They think it's clear. No, they're just far enough away that nobody's heard each other.
The spike goes down the all turn.
Spike planted.
What? Wait a minute, guys. Guys, I don't hear the spike on A,
They
guys.
still didn't stop.
Guys, we got a
They didn't
TP,
turn
guys.
around.
It's not here. They're all TP over. They come back hookah, and suddenly NCC, they're playing yet another attacking round, which is quite favorable since they just won 11 of them. What can they get done? Zephyr from the back of the site will pick up the first. The team's still looking to flood their way in, and the post plant. The defense is strong here for CCBC thus far. Members the fall, using for the send back 2 with the Sheriff. Not a standard judge, but it'll have to do into this round. Sets has found yet another. Will sneak forward, looking to the back of sight. Gravy got to come through. Zephyr jumping!
No shot.
Sheriff by Sense. A 2K to come through for the Omen. Beanie King will force you to off the spike. You have to try to defuse, but you have to try to find the player as well. Sense so hard for you. 1 bullet to work with and cannot find the frag. Looking for the knife kill, looking for anything. Looking to kill them too. Beanie King will take the knife, will take the extra money, will take the clutch. A 1v2 for Beanie King out of Octagon. A 2-11 scoring line. CCBC will find their second round.
I'm honestly shocked that NCC didn't just double back and mark it. Instead, they just chose to take the teleporter to announce that they're coming from hookah. That is hubris that lost them that round for sure. Though it is far from something that would lose them the match as far as things seem as of right now. Forcing up is NCC. Full buy on their roster. The confidence continues. Push up from A short. Just like we saw in Ascent, they would be very happy to take risky map control.
See teammates to help now as well. Just going to grind the danger off that dash. So a 3K for the chamber and a rendezvous just before the damage can come forward. Sense will sneak out for one. You spur another, and Silver Star can only trade one back. NCC immediately turn things back the other way. It's a 12-2 score line. It's match point. It's series point. It's 6-2 for the season record point for Nassau.
Yeah, they're on a tear this season, man. And we are seeing in this match, up against a winning record team, how exactly dominant NCC is in this season. It is quite a sight to behold. All the way in spawn as CCBC, holding angles, thinking, what do we do at this point? Force bite up, having a little team meeting. All right, team. Here's the scoop. Wait, Catnator, you coached, right?
Listen, guys, so right now things aren't going how we would have hoped they would, but don't even worry. If we all play together right now and we go to the A site, I guarantee you we win this round. We just throw all the util, we get out early, we watch for the judge, because we know he's going to be ratting on us, guys. Everybody watch for him. No one watch for him, guys! You got to watch for the judge! He's good for 2, King Foxy. Tried to dash in and get them spaced early, and it's taken out just like that. Zephyr will grab 1. We'll trade 1 kill back, but you're going to need more. Your CCBC stuck to a shower right now, and well, it's not as clean as they'd like it to be. They forgot the shampoo. Sense has taken 1, and Nico will be absolutely washed out. 13-2 as NCC will wrap this one up. And though we didn't get map 3, I will say that series, well, it was certainly a breeze.
It was for NCC, that's for sure. Perhaps a lost memory for CCBC after all things considered as well. So we'll see how things shake up in the playoffs when those kinds of things happen. CCBC, we talked about how getting a win today would be huge for them to secure a playoff spot, things like that. Yep. They still are on a winning record, so they're still not looking that far out of it, but this is potentially the kind of match that you just forget about and move on. GG next.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know what that tiebreaker is if it does come down to it for Group 3, but I do hope it's not round differential. That is for sure.
We'll have to see. I mean, NCCC, they look like they could do this to like all the teams in the group at this point. Like,
Yeah.
they were hitting in crazy shots, incredibly accurate the whole series. They were very concise and cohesive. They were very high risk, high reward play style. But when they were presented times that they needed to give respect to the opposition, like when Zephyr on round number 5 of Ascent countered the strategy of NCCC perfectly to win that round for them, immediately you saw the adaptation in NCCC saying, okay, yep, you guys are going to be able to beat us if we do this, so we'll respect it, and we'll play a little bit more straightforward. But then NCCC went back to the dominant ways, and as they continued getting more and more dominant again and getting momentum on those round wins, then they started getting looser and more aggressive and high risk, high reward again.
Yeah, absolutely, which definitely speaks to more than just the mechanical skill of the team, but the brain cells that are living up there for the IGL and for the roster as a whole, the ability to recognize when to scale that momentum, when to back up just a little bit, and a phenomenal series from them all the way around. And speaking of backing it up, we'll back up to break here, and then we'll come back swinging with an interview. We'll get to sit down with the Lions, and hopefully they have some time for us because the series didn't go as long as we would have thought it would. So we'll be back after the break, and we'll get to hear what they think. Welcome back, everybody, to the Esports U Network. We just got to the conclusion of coverage of the NJCAAE matchup of the week. And, well, Nassau, they 2-0'd them hot off the presses, 13-2, both score lines. And we get to sit down now with who other than Josu of Nassau. How you feeling, brother? That game was something.
It was definitely something. We felt ourselves after yesterday. We took a rough L yesterday. So I want to say shout out to my team. This is my first time playing with them ever, and we have like chemistry, so that's the only reason we won, because we just connect like that.
Nice. Yeah, y'all definitely had moments that very fast paced, heavy on the W key for game plans today.
Oh yeah,
definitely was one of those things where if the team isn't presenting that you have to slow down, then why would you, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's how we play. Like if we see that we can push, of course we're gonna push. It works out. I mean, clearly it worked out this game. We did not stop for nothing. Nothing could have stopped us. We just went in for kills. I mean, it was fun, definitely. But I don't know. That's how we play.
I love it. And we did see that y'all were able to adapt whenever, like, round number 5 for Ascent, Zephyr got a counter onto Sense, pushing out for A main, trying to get map control, then push forward through smokes, got a kill as well onto Narsh, who tried to get just positioning for a tree for the retake, just caught them off guard on a tempo read. So when that happened, it was very noticeable that while y'all were feeling comfortable just pushing out aggressively and risky for map control because you didn't see that you're being told no, essentially, once you were told that like no by Zephyr, you all slowed down, gave respect, and got a lot more controlled gameplay. But then you started finding more round wins, and then you started picking up the tempo again. Is there like a vibe for that for your discussions in the team? Is there comms talking about what exactly you need to do to answer back, or is it just a natural response?
Oh no, there's definitely. It's a little bit of both. Like I said, we have good chemistry, but it's definitely comms, because comms keeps our team together. Like we're definitely communicating through everything. Every little thing that happens, we always have to point it out, and from there we build up. And then after that, it's just natural. The retake is natural. The way we get kills is natural. The way we position ourselves is natural. Definitely, my teammates always know what they're doing. And then we just like, it's just after that, we just like, I don't know how to explain it, because it's a little difficult. It's not something you can explain. It's just something that happens naturally.
Yeah, for sure. And I wonder, does Nassau have a Fortnite team? Because Surfer with the judge in his hand.
We were talking about that in game. We heard you say that. We were a little confused, but we do have a Fortnite. Actually, funny enough, Usurper, he's playing with a cast right now. That's the whole reason he's in a judge.
Wow.
So yeah.
Oh,
shout out to him. He did fine. He did great tonight. That's the whole reason he was on the judge, because his aim hand is the one that's broken. Damn. That man killed it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, look at that go with a broken arm. I'd hate to be your opponent once that.
Better than Chad with a broken arm. That's wild, dude.
Yeah, better than me with a broken arm. Luckily, I haven't broken this arm yet, so. we're good, knock on wood. But yeah, that was a very impressive display. Y'all were looking really good on bind as well. A lot more aggressive game plan on bind than I usually see. Split and bind, especially with being more choke pointed, kind of funneled lanes of maps. It's harder to be as aggressive as you were on Ascent or like a map like Breeze. Are those like comfort strategies for y'all? Do you have other things in the playbook in case you do need to slow down, things like that?
Yeah, we definitely do have plays where we wait for specific people, like specific spots, because we know there's like certain spots where people push up for like orb. Like, let's say, for instance, in bind, if we knew they were going to push like they did, they push showers a lot. If we wanted to slow down the pace, we would have like a 2-man swing on showers and wait for them to peak. We did it once, but after that, we just went full force right after. And like other maps like Haven and others, Breeze, we definitely do have plays to like slow down the pace and play for picks. But this game, we didn't do that. Of course not. We couldn't.
Well, as you guys continue forward, continue winning, looking very dominant in this showing. How do you feel about your chances to make playoff contention? And then if you do make it into those playoffs, how are you feeling going through in the rest of the off season?
Well, it's difficult for us because we can barely make these games because we have a very bad schedule when it comes to school. But I feel like if we like try to prioritize this a little bit more than we already do, we can definitely make it. Our team, like I said, is very good together. We don't have to practice as much as we should to be good. I feel like if we were to play the games, continue playing, we could definitely make it to the playoffs. And to the playoffs, I say we can win it, but I don't want to say that. It's kind of a little disrespectful.
Sure. I respect that.
Hey, confidence is good, man. Sometimes it's not disrespect if it's just confidence.
It's definitely confidence.
If you
we
back
have
it
a
up.
lot of confidence. Yeah.
You back it
I
up.
mean, you see the confidence you see that game? We backed it up right there.
Good.
For sure. 100%.
Definitely did. So yeah, do you have anything you want to say though in that regard? Speaking of confidence, looking ahead, talking to anybody out there who might be watching, fans of the team, members of the school, members of your team.
Well, first of all, shout out to my team. This is my first time playing with them, but I already love them like brothers. Shout out Narsh, Olu, Usurper, and Sense. Shout out to my friends watching. They always come to tune into my streams. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, Josu. Appreciate that. Good talking to you. And between Kat and I, that's going to do it for us for the coverage for Valorant today. Make sure you tune in for League of Legends live coverage tomorrow on this channel.
ECC semifinals, baby.
Yes, sir. And this channel goes around all the time, so definitely tune in for any action that you might have missed, things like that. Catnator, anything else you want to say? Close us out.
Hey, ECC League of Legends semifinals, you're not going to miss it. That's going to be right here on Esports U. But as Chad mentioned, that concludes live coverage here today on the network, but it's always cooking. So we got student casted matches. We've got reruns to be seen from all 6 of our conference partners. So still action to be had. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon.